What was one cultural or professional shock when you entered a New York design scene?
New York taught me that what I think about design confirmed there, and New York taught me that everything is possible.
Sometimes I think you would say, being creative is not enough on its own.
It's really hard to be in this business. When I went to school, everyone was well dressed and looking at, I don't know, che bella la mia cintura, la mia giacca, and that's something that was really catchy for this age. Yeah, right.
Welcome to Between Designs, where we tell what people don't see. I'm Christele, and in this series we go between the projects and between the polished stories to uncover the real journeys behind some of the top designers shaping our industry. Today I'm in Croatia. I'm joined by Sandro Užila, an Italian-Croatian designer whose work moves across borders and settings. Sandro was born in Pula, and his journey into architecture and design started early. At just 14 years old, he left home to study design and architecture in Italy, between Trieste and Venice. A few years later, at only 25, he started his own studio in Poreč on the Istrian coast. And from Istria, his work began to travel far beyond Croatia. Most recently, he left a mark on Manhattan, redesigning the historic Delmonico's restaurant, a place deeply rooted in New York culinary and cultural history. But what fascinates me about Sandro's work is the balance he navigates between tradition and modernity, between local identity and global ambition, between the quiet landscapes of Istria and the energy of cities like New York. Together, we will go beyond the finished spaces and into the stories people don't always see. What shaped his perspective? How a designer from Istria finds himself working on projects across borders. Sandro, welcome to Between Designs. I want to start with the part of your journey that actually fascinates me the most. For someone growing up in Istria, New York can feel like, I would say, a different universe. Can you a little bit tell us how this journey happened?
Yeah, thank you for having me here. Well, I've done a bar in Rijeka, and people were very fascinated with the design. One of them was a guy from Rijeka who works in New York like 20 years and works in restaurants. So he has seen the design and contacted me by LinkedIn. Then he asked me if I would like to do a job in New York. And I was ready, so I came there. I've seen the restaurant, how it was. I've already done some project before I came there, and they were very happy with the results, and we made the job. We made the first fine dining restaurant in the United States.
So if you want to say that there was one moment or one opportunity that really helped you, it was that restaurant that you designed in Rijeka in Croatia.
Yeah, it was, let's say...
So it was like a finished project.
It was a finished project where I was happy with it, but I'm not really happy anytime with my project.
Typical designer.
Yeah. So, but people liked it.
Okay.
So
okay.
This is the project where this journey started.
It opened the door.
Yeah.
Awesome. And once you were actually in New York, and New York was no more, let's say, it was no more like an idea, but it was a reality. What was, let's say, one cultural or professional shock when you entered a New York design scene?
So first of all, New York is a very big city. It's the center of the world. People there are really running all the time.
Exactly.
They're working all the time. And the difference is in the speed of acting and in the way how people behave.
Yeah.
So there you can talk about business without some, how can I say, without stopping for anything. So you came there and you began to talk about design, about work, and here people are not like this.
Yeah.
people here are very hard to reach, let's say.
Yeah.
And there, when you come to a party, you start talking about business, and that's normal. Like, what's your job?
Yeah.
What are you doing? What's your profession? And then you begin to talk about business, and if you can manage to make business together.
So the first, let's say, cultural/professional shock was that people are easy to kind of talk to, especially about business, whereas in countries, let's say in Europe, it's sometimes a bit more of a cold process to reach that person that is, let's say, a client or a well-known person, etc.
Yeah, it's easier to talk about business, but it's harder to talk about their personal life.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the thing. In Europe, it's easier to talk with someone about their kids, their, I don't know, family.
Yeah, everyday stuff.
Yeah, about the sports and everything. But when you talk about work, it's not that, how can I say, they're colder there.
I wanted to tap a little bit into the subject of New York again and ask you, did working in New York change a little bit your perspective about design, architecture, and scale?
No, it didn't change the way I think about design, but it just confirmed everything I thought about how design should be and how the work should look like.
Yeah. Why I'm asking is because I feel when you step into a city like New York or like Dubai maybe, you don't only change your environment, I sometimes feel that you change the way you see things. So that's why I wanted to kind of understand.
No, it didn't change anything because I'm a kind of designer, a kind of guy that when it comes to a place wants to enhance the heritage of this place. So if I go to New York, I want to make a design that fits New York, but it stands out design with the design. So if I came to Istria, I make projects that fits in Istria, in the Istrian heritage, architecture and landscape, but stands out with some details. New York taught me that what I think about design is confirmed there, and New York taught me that everything is possible.
Mm-hmm. Beyond the creative side of architecture, there's also, I would say, another reality that shapes every designer. And that is the business side of the profession. People usually see the outcome and they do not really see the weight of everything that sits behind it. And I want to stay there for a moment because I really feel it's a very important thing to discuss with designers. As someone like you, who is the founder, not only a designer, you're a founder of your own firm. How have you learned to really navigate the business side of the profession? And sometimes I think you would say, being creative is not enough on its own.
Yeah, it's really hard to be in this business, and no one taught us about business. We are self-made, so it's really hard. I'm still learning about business, and I'm still making the structure of my company, learning how to do everything. I don't know, in finance and also in management of people. It's not so easy to be creative and think about the managerial side of business, of financial side of business, of economic side of business, and you have also to think about sales. Yeah. You have to think about everything, especially when you are growing and when you start from scratch.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when you are in studying, you study basically design, but you don't really study the business side of it. And I remember that also in our discussion, you were saying that you have like a business mentor, someone who's actually also supporting you on that side. I think this is really amazing to have someone who can guide you within something that you didn't study, but you learned by experience.
Yeah, I have a business coach and a business mentor. The business coach is working with me for...
Personal?
Not only personal, but in general, how to behave. And the business mentor is doing...
more technical.
Yes, and specific for my business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So you are working with someone who's, let's say, guiding you through business in general, and someone who is more specific into your design studio.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. Yeah.
That's really good. And since we are talking about the business side of the profession, which also kind of tap into the elephant in the room, which is the M word, money. And when working on projects, I'm sure that many times you have to protect your design when budget becomes part of the conversation. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a really big problem here, especially because people are not so educated in design and in business in general. I'm still learning about this and how to manage this kind of things. People want to give their touch in the projects, and
trust me, it's everywhere.
yeah, and if they do it with you, in collaboration with you, it's a good thing. There is no problem. You can be creative however you want. But when they do it without the collaboration with you, it's a very big problem.
Yeah.
Because they change something without
asking.
Without asking, and they expect us to sign the project for them.
Yeah.
But
at the end of the day, it's signed your name.
Yeah,
so.
And if the project is not good, it's a bad advertisement for me.
It's very true, actually. And I have one example in my head. It's one of my favorite projects of yours, which is Casarea.
Yeah.
And I know that you approach this project in a very distinct way. I wanted to understand a bit from you, how did you approach the reality of working within, let's say, a limited budget, but still deliver a beauty, I would say, still deliver design integrity towards your clients? Yeah,
Casarea was featured on Vogue and on Elle and on Vogue Living and in every media. It's a very successful project. It was done with a small budget. Let's say, I can say it was done with 300,000 euro.
Wow.
But it lasts, let's say, the construction lasts 4 years.
Wow.
And that's what also people have to know, that if you want to make something great, it takes time.
Yeah.
And especially if you don't want to spend a lot of money.
Of course.
And with money you can do everything, but without money you need a little more time and a little more effort.
Yeah. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember that this villa, as you just said, it was done with a budget of 400,000 euros, but the client got an offer of much bigger, 2 million euros. So this is really amazing, because moments like that really show that the design is not only about design sensibility, but it's really about bringing value to a property. And I think you just did that marvelously.
Yeah, that's what I say to my clients every time. So if you have a budget, make a smaller house, but put more effort in it and make something unique. Because when you make something unique, you don't have to measure the value of it by taking the reference of other houses around it. You have something unique, and you have your own price, your own value. It's something that you cannot touch.
Yeah, to be honest, this is something that in my personal humble opinion, I would say differentiate a designer from the other. You can always design maybe a beautiful house, aesthetically pleasing house, but to make a shift in the value of the property, this is not only design, this is really another level, I would say. And it is something that only few designers in the world can really do that. So amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's what I like about this job. You have to make a story of everything you design.
Yeah. Exactly. Storytelling is always at the center, I would say, of interior design, definitely.
Yeah, right. Now I design a house for 300,000 euro here in Europe, and now the clients had an offer of 2 million for it.
Sandro, of course, with all those kind of amazing outcomes that we just discussed, they don't happen without pressure, without challenges behind the scenes. I want you to kind of think about your journey broadly And let me know a little bit some of the struggles you have faced or you're maybe facing right now, and how do you usually deal with them?
Yeah, like I said before, the business side of the business, it's the big struggle, because when you are growing, you have to be everything, one-man band.
Yes.
So you have to be the sales manager, the business owner, the financial manager, the designer, the architect, the engineer, the one that goes on construction sites, and you have to manage the time.
Yeah, one-stop solution.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in those moments of, let's say, pressure or struggle, or I don't know, maybe just you're exhausted, was there a moment where you almost gave up?
No, I never give up. I always give my best, and then let it be. Yeah.
Yeah, let it be. Amazing.
Yeah, a big struggle was the client's behavior, because everyone wanted to make their own projects like they wanted,
Yeah.
without asking, and I didn't have contracts that protect me. And then I had to spend, let's say, a year or 2 years in this project without a contract that protects me, and I had to argue with the clients, but that's a part of the job, and I learned a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think managing psychologies is another thing that designers have to kind of learn by experience.
Yeah.
Dealing with all type of clients. Also, you're dealing with clients who are from the States, clients who are from Italy, clients who are from Croatia. So also like different cultures, different way of speaking. Sometimes it's really not easy. It's always also interesting because when we talk about, I would say, the memories that kind of break us, we always think about what initially built us. And I want to go back to the beginning a little bit. Growing up in Istria, what kind of a kid were you? Were you someone who was actually observing things, touching things, or you were really unaware that architecture or design would one day become your word?
I'm drawing and playing football my whole life. And that's what I continued to do all my life. So I'm doing what I love, but the priorities changed a little bit.
Yeah.
So now I'm drawing a lot and playing football a little bit less.
So basically in your childhood, you were a creative, I would say, child, someone who loved to draw and at the same time a bit disciplined, because I would say football comes with a lot of discipline as well. And I think at some point of your childhood, that early curiosity of drawing becomes a decision, and you started studying, I think, design in Trieste and in Venice, right?
Yeah, right.
What was the first thing you realized when you actually started studying, like something that it was super different from what you imagined?
I went from Istria to Trieste at the age of 14, so I was a child.
Wow.
And when I came there, I was alone, and I had to learn everything, how to be alone. But I came to a reality where all those guys were looking at the fashion, they were trendy, they were looking at the design side of life. Also, yeah, they were stylish. So this is something also that shaped me a lot, because I'm half Italian and half Croatian. So I have this in my blood, design in my blood and fashion. So this is also something that shaped me.
Okay, and I think after studies, design stops being something you just study, it becomes your reality, right? And I'm sure that you started your career with not the big projects, but you started probably in Croatia or in Italy. Can you tell us a little bit how you started and what was some of your early projects?
Yeah, I was training kids, coaching kids, playing football. So my first job was for a father of a kid that I trained. So it was, let's say, an apartment at the beginning, yeah. And then every time people were asking me if I can design something, if I can make the project for this, for that. And even if I didn't know exactly how to do it, I would say yes. And then I learned by doing it.
And at that stage of your life, when you started with those apartments, did you ever think that design is going to take you far beyond Croatia, far beyond Italy?
Yeah, that's all. This was always my goal. My goal is to work abroad in America, in the US, and around the globe. And to live here in Istria.
Amazing. And talking about Istria, my next question is I feel that Istria has such a strong architectural identity. How that local context actually shaped your design thinking now that you are working not only in Croatia but globally?
Yeah, Istria, it's a really beautiful region, and it has a lot of nature.
Yeah.
And this is something that I put in every design. So natural elements, natural materials like stone, wood, and all the natural materials you can find in the place. So when I work in a region, let's say if I have to put a stone on the facade of the building, I will put the stone of this zone, especially of this region.
So you use the local content, let's say.
I like to do it like this, because then the project fits in the landscape but stands out because of the design.
Yeah, awesome. And I wanted to just ask if you could go back in time and give one piece of advice to young Sandro, who was just starting his career in design. What would you tell him?
Never give up.
Amazing. I think that's a very good sentence or very good quote, let's say, to say. I'm sure a lot of the people who are watching us also are maybe students who are just starting out, and they are facing the difficulties and the challenges of studying design and architecture. So I think never give up is excellent.
Yeah, but sometimes you are right, but not for the context you are in.
Yeah.
That's something. Let's say you have a story of the old man that sends the kid with an old watch, and he says, go to the green market and try to sell the watch. I need 1 million. The kid goes there, asks for the watch. He wants to sell the watch, and those people says to him, it's 10 euro, it's 100 euro, and he came back and say, Dad, they asked me 100 euro. That's not enough. Okay, now go to the guy that sells old watches and try to sell it for 10 million. Okay, it goes there. And the guy that sells watches knows the story about this piece of watch, knows that it's a prestigious watch, and that is from, I don't know, the 1700, I don't know, from a specific year. And he says, yes, I can give you 11 million.
Wow.
And he came back and said he wanted to give me 11 million. And the old guy says, you see, when you go somewhere in the right context, your value is bigger.
Lovely. So such a wonderful story. Yeah. I love it. But it's beautiful, actually. I will definitely remember it. Tell me a little bit about the opening of Delmonico in New York.
Yeah, when I come at the opening, it was in September, They had already 14,000 reservations.
Oh, wow.
At the opening, because it's an iconic restaurant, the legendary restaurant. It's older than the Brooklyn Bridge and then the Statue of Liberty. It was the first restaurant that brought the menu on the table.
Wow, really?
Yeah, the first restaurant that allowed women to come unaccompanied without men. So it was a big opening. The mayor of New York was there also. We chat a little bit, and it was a really big event in New York. So
excellent.
That's it.
What is the next big city that you are planning to work in?
Let's say I would like to work in Dubai.
I think that also with the background that you have between cities like New York and cities in Europe, you can bring a really, I would say, very aesthetically different kind of design flavor to the UAE Dubai scene, to Dubai design scene for sure.
Yeah, I would like to go and to work in Dubai, in Los Angeles, Miami. I don't know. I'm working something in Cape Town.
Mm-hmm. That's another
South
beautiful
Africa.
design scene, yeah.
But I'm doing also a lot of product design. I made some collections, furniture collections. I made some showers for Corta. I made some lightings and something like this. I think that design, it's not something that you can use only in interior design or in architectural design, but if you are creative and you know how to make the drawings and how to make technical drawings, that you can design everything.
Sandro, another question that I have for you. What do you think is the biggest mistake young designers or starting designers actually do?
The biggest mistake young designers actually do is to design something without storytelling. Without a story, the design is not that valuable. So it's not that luxurious, let's say.
Yeah. I think also without storytelling, people don't really feel anything when they come inside, whether it's a property or a hotel or a restaurant. It's just, okay, design, but it's not really an experience.
Yeah, when you enter in a room that designed with the storytelling, you don't know the story, but you can feel it.
Exactly.
And you don't know what it is that is so beautiful, but it's something in the air.
Absolutely, absolutely. Many places, sometimes when we are traveling, we go to a restaurant. I personally sometimes just feel good, but I don't know what is the main reason of me feeling so comfortable in that place that I really want to even come back.
Yeah.
But as you said, it's mainly because of a story that the designer wanted to kind of say, or an emotion that the designer wanted to evoke also.
Yeah, right. Like when I did Konoba Čakula, a restaurant in Istria, in Croatia, people are still coming there only to take pictures of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And, but also to eat, because it's a very good restaurant.
It's a good mix, I think. And finally, this is our last question, and this is my favorite question to my guests. Between designs, between the sketches, between the budgets, between the approvals and the reality of construction and all the struggles, what is the part of design that, in your opinion, clients don't really see?
The changes. When they ask you to change only a little thing, when it's everything done.
Yeah.
Then you have to move a wall. And you have to move a wall in all the cost spreadsheet, in all the other drawings and projects. So it's a lot of work that no one sees.
In their opinion, it's a small change, but it's actually a very big change to a lot of different files and I would say layouts, etc.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. Sandro, thank you for sharing your journey between the ideas, the cities, and the untold realities that shape design. It's been wonderful having you on Between Designs.
Thank you for having me here.
Thanks.